Hello, hello. Everybody hear me? Hello, hello. Everybody hear me? Okay, good. So, welcome to a mid 2026 reflection session. So, welcome to a mid and today 2026 reflection we will session. Be talking about not exactly talking. We'll be doing a little bit more of a thinking type work today, where uh there's going to be a lot of writing, a lot of journaling, because we are going to look back at our 2026 experiences and from there see what we can learn from them. So you can just grab any notebook or do it digitally and we can start reflecting. So, phase one, what we're going to do is we are going to look back at the past 5 months and try to recall what have we experienced. So what have we done? For example, maybe you went to a new mall that really excited you, or you tried out something out of your comfort zone, like singing on stage. So all these experiences, you can write them down. Uh, this is just a table for like a reference point, but you don't have to follow this format. It's just a template. So you have your experiences and of course your goals or achievements. So what did you accomplish? Perhaps you've always had an achieve you've always desired to be able to run a marathon, and in March you were able to run a marathon. So that is an achievement that you've accomplished. And from those experiences and achievements, what have you learned? So write it down and take your time to just think about it. So here's an example. Say this is a personal experience of mine. It's that in January I started writing a script for a novel, and well, I managed to write finish that script in March, but yeah, it's not in the doc, but yeah, I managed to write finish the novel. So what did I learn from that experience? Well, writing requires a lot of brain work and it takes patience for projects to be completed. So you can do that for the rest of the months that have passed. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just scroll this up so you can see the template. And to make this more comfy, I will be putting on some calm music as we journal. Yeah. So let's get into it. If you don't remember what happened early in the year, then you can just focus on the months that have passed. Like just write down what you remember. Yes. I hope I don't get copyrighted, but it's nice music. Who knows if this channel pops off and I have to like censor my audio that has copyrighted music. Indeed, indeed. Actually, being alive is the biggest accomplishment that technically you could ever do. And like being present in the moment, that's a really nice feeling and achievement. What can you learn about being alive of at this moment? Like what did you do in order to be alive today? Give that a thought. Mostly just the friends I'm blessed enough to have along the way to deal with my goofy when I'm crashing out. Indeed, indeed. Friendships. We should do gratitude journaling as well. Like maybe one day or like in another life, if I ever do another life, which I'm unsure of for the moment, I might do something like a gratitude journaling session, but no promises. And it's good when it's all fine and dandy. That's the best part. Like being in this live stream. Very fine, very dandy. Ah, a podcast. That that would be really cool. I do have a podcast that is coming soon. Not sure when, but it will be coming posted on this channel. Discord call. Oh, I never thought of a Discord call. Yeah, I could try that. I could try that as a type of format. Though the next podcast that's coming is not well, it was not done through a Discord call. It was done in an empty, silent room, classroom. So it's, I feel like it's gonna be a good one. Yes. It was almost like just a fun discussion with friends. Well, it's possible to learn. It's possible to learn. Yeah. So I'm not sure if like gonna make it live, but if that were the case, Discord calling is probably the closest thing you're gonna get to that, I think. Oh yes, yes. Actually, yeah, you're right. Discord calling would be easier for if I were to do it live, and it'd be very authentic as well. It's like just the viewer experience would probably be like watching an actual online call happening between friends. That'd be cool. So by now, you'll probably be done with this reflection. If you still need more time, go ahead and pause the live stream. No problem with that. Because now, with this in mind, you have a good sense of where you are right now. With by knowing where you are right now, you can then know where you want to go, where you want to be. So the next phase is going to be our goal setting phase, where we are going to be setting our goals for the next 3 months of 2026. Why not for the rest of the year? Because it's easier to get things done when you have a shorter time frame. And overall, we humans tend to do things, we are more likely to do things if the goal itself is not too big. And so I'm trying to make this as practical as possible. So, first, you want to think in terms of categories. What type of goal do you want to achieve? And to do this, you just think about which part of any of these categories are you neglecting. I mean, it's not limited to just these categories. If you have other categories in mind, go ahead and just follow through with those categories. I'm just giving examples in this document. So when you've thought of your categories, you will then figure out what exactly do you want to achieve in that category of a goal. So, for example, say you want to focus on your health because maybe you've been neglecting it too much. So now you know that your goal is to lose weight, but not just lose weight. You want to be specific. And to be specific, you would want to try to numerify, like add a number to it or attach some sort, try to quantify it as much as you can. So, for example, instead of saying, "Oh, I want to lose weight," you would specify, "Hey, I want to lose 5 kilograms of weight." Yes. Or if, for example, this is related to studies, you don't just say, "I want to be a good student. I want to get high grades. I want to get good grades." You specify, "I want 4 A's for my next semester." Now, obviously, you can try to narrow down the goal as much as you can, because you might have like a long-term goal in mind, for example, getting a 3.8 CGPA, but that is still far away. So you want to just narrow it down to like something that you can attain within the next few months, which could be obtaining 4 A's for all of your subjects for the next semester that's coming. And so once you've got the what pinned down, you want to then figure out the why. So you say you want to lose weight, but why do you want to lose weight? And the key thing is that you need to make sure, or at least try to write or keep an intrinsic desire in mind, not an extrinsic desire. So, what I mean by intrinsic means that it is something that you, it is a goal that you do out of your own personal feelings and not for some external material possession that could not even be within your control. So, for example, of course, we all don't want to be fat because that being fat has a lot of negative connotations to it. It is associated with an ugly image in society. And so many of us want to be thin and have that perfect body for the sake of uh, the status and image that comes with having a good looking body. But that is an outside focus, an outward focus of, and it's based off something that we can't exactly control. However, if we have an intrinsic goal in mind, for example, perhaps you want to lose weight just so that you could live a little longer and continue to experience the beauty of this world, spend time with your family. That is an intrinsic desire. You're doing this for yourself in a more feelings type of way. So try to focus on the intrinsic whys instead. And lastly, what are the constraints you set for this goal? So, of course, you can, if you really wanted to lose 5 kilograms of weight, you can just spend your entire day walking walking on the treadmill in the gym, or you could just cut down on all types of delicious meals and just eat, I don't know, a salad every single day. But no one really wants to do that, right? I mean, salad every single day, that's like sacrificing our personal happiness. So the constraints are there for you to set your to for you to like ensure you enjoy the process and not sacrifice the things that you know you can't sacrifice for that goal. For example, in the case of losing weight, I mean, we don't want to lose muscle mass in the process. So eating salad every single day just won't work out. And of course, while we're working on our fitness goals, we don't want to lose time for our friends, family, and for doing work in general. Because of course, we need to do work. We need to commit some time to do work. So while you're thinking of your goal, have these three things in mind. Try to be specific as possible. And yes, that's all I have to say as we continue writing this down. I'm actually not writing in my journal. A little ironic of me, but I, while I was writing, I sort of decided to switch to like a digital notebook instead. It just felt more fun to type instead. But oh well, you do you. I'll continue the music and we'll come back at probably around 8:40 to 8:45 p.m. I I don't know what happened. I was just writing halfway, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing this. I'm typing," because it is a lot to write. So I mean, whatever fits your preference. I I do find like writing raw thoughts on paper is more fun than typing out raw thoughts in a laptop. Something about like while you're emotional and just pressing on the paper that just makes it more calming. It's very weird. Doing that by typing, it's I, but probably should give writing a try sometime if I ever do feel more emotional. Indeed, indeed. I have I have had an experience where I like just when I was a bit too angry, I take the pen and just sort of on the paper, but I ended up like shredding the paper in the process. So don't do that, but like just write normally. Don't do that. Don't do what I did. It was like a torture session for the paper. Don't let bro go near somebody with that pen. I was angry. Okay, I was angry, but I'm not. It's like it's a pass. It's a past time. It's all in the past now. Now, now it's all chill. It's all cool. Get a Twitch sort of point system where you can just spam water break. Wait, Twitch has a point system for spamming water breaks. I didn't know that. The more you learn. I think it's something like every interval and however long you watch a streamer, you gain points for their channel. Then God used those points to redeem whatever funny requests. Depends on what the streamer points in there. What's this? Oh, I see. Oh. That sounds scary, not gonna lie. I mean, of course, the streamer gets to decide what's on the reward list, but if the rewards are a bit intense, then the streamer has no choice. You gotta be careful with this reward list. Do you prefer streamers or like just normal content creators? Anything, really anything for chat. I mean, it depends on people's personal preferences. I think content creators is the way to go nowadays, to be honest. Last time for sure streamers. Streaming's pretty competitive right now, from what I've heard. Ain't sure how many people tune into lives nowadays. Yeah, definitely. Unless they're unemployed, because I outgrew my gaming days. Yeah, gaming, gaming life, just that one seems to still be holding its ground, but like, yeah, life is just more difficult than just basic content creation. Unless, of course, the audience in question has a lot of time on their hands. Content creation got lower bar of entry too, so you're, you're. I mean, it was only that I started this, yeah, like 2 months ago, started the content creation. Very easy bar of entry. But of course, I did that with a gun to my head. Okay, so it's 8:45, which means it's time to move on to the next point, which is the plan. So we have a goal, which is if we look at this example, I'll keep going with the health example, is to lose 5 kilograms of weight. But then again, there are so many ways to lose 5 kilograms of weight. So what plan are we going to enact in order to achieve that goal? You can also think of it in terms of like, imagine you being lost in the jungle and you know that you want to leave the jungle, but there's just so many paths to take. Like you could go north, you could go south, you could go west, east, northeast, southwest. So all of those all of those paths will lead you out the jungle. But if you keep switching paths, switching plans, like going north and then going east and then deciding to go south, you're just gonna be in circles. So we're gonna think of 3 to 5 major steps in order to enact our plans and try to take as much time as you can with this because you really want to stick with this plan as much as possible. And once you've thought of that plan, we're also going to test its practicalness or practicality by just really asking yourself, how realistic is the plan actually? Because it's very easy to think of a plan that might not be very practical. For example, say, like again, looking at the losing 5 kilograms of weight example, this is a very normal plan that like anyone could think of. Like, actually, this is like my own first draft of my plan, just to go to the gym after class every single day, change to my gym clothes, then work out by following fitness videos online, then tracking my weights over the weeks. But when I go when I put this plan into the filter of how realistic it is, then there's gonna be a lot of holes in the plan. Like, for example, is it really possible, knowing daily life, is it really possible that I could go to gym after class every single day? Like, there's a possibility that an emergency might happen and I have to leave for home straight away. Or what if I'm tired? What if I'm burned out? So is it really possible for me to go to the gym after class every single day? And so from there, you just sort of change your plan to fit a more realistic image of life. And once you've settled the plan, once you've put it through the realism filter, what are the possible reasons that you didn't follow through with the plan? Or in another way, you could put it as, how do you make sure you also overcome the obstacles that may come out with your plan? So, for example, a very common obstacle that I could think of about wanting to lose 5 kilograms of weight is you would want to eat a health a non-healthy diet. For example, maybe like a sudden sugar craving, or something like wanting to skip a day out of laziness. So from there, how would you overcome the obstacle of a sudden sugar craving and the obstacle of possibly skipping a day out of laziness? So, for example, maybe to stop the sugar craving. I mean, you can do a lot of research. If you can't think of your own, you can always, there's tons of solutions online. And so, for this sudden sugar craving, I just, I know that one thing that really works for me is that if I do end up buying a sugar drink, or a sugary snack, I share it with a friend out of, in a way, it's to reduce the guilt. But of course, you try not to like entertain the craving. Or if there is a sudden sugar craving, replace it with something healthy, like a fruit or a honey drink. Like, so a drink with just honey. So honey is a sugar, but it's healthier. So it's like a, replace it with a healthier alternative. Yes. So think of a plan, make sure it's realistic, and work out how you would overcome the obstacles, especially the obstacles. Because if you know what you need to, if you can predict what's going to happen and plan out how you're going to avert those disasters, it's going to help you a lot in the long run. So, this, I would say, needs more time than the goals. So, I'll give it until about 9:10, 9:15, and then we'll move on to the final phase of our mid 2026 reflection. Hit it with the Minecraft music. Chill. Yeah. That's how I see at the back. Just notice. Oh, very observant. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's paint by number that I did like a while back with uh yes. So yeah, 乌草. Surprised that you could recognize based on like a small dot screen. Oh, it's a paint by number. It's very fun paint by numbers. Think if like I would I had the money, I'd probably buy more of them. And if I had more time, I would do more of them. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Have you done a paint by number before? Yeah. I noticed at the start, but I couldn't tell what it was even. Enlighten me on that. On on like why I painted Hu Tao or like what? Like what? Paint by numbers? Uh, it's this is like oh you don't know what that is? So there's this like I can actually put up an image on screen for paint by numbers. Just give me a second. Not gonna spoil you. Yeah, so paint by numbers is like a painting, a drawing, and they give you like a color palette. So from 1 to 7 in this example, and each color is labeled with a number. And so what you just do is just take the color and paint it at where the number is. That's paint by number. It's very simple, very easy. Just paint. It's another, I would say, very healthy mental health exercise. Yeah, very cool. Say it's like similar and fun in terms of like these building bricks thing. I don't know what it's called. It's the one where you like put the plastic bricks by following the instructions and then just doing them. Oh my god, you should try it. You should try it. It's really fun. Really, really fun. Because you just turn off your brain and just follow the instructions. If you want to be a psychopath, you switch your colors as you paint, but normally people just like, oh, seven, they paint all the sevens, and then six, they paint all the six, and then five, four, three, two, one. There's even more like complex paintings, like it can even go up to 50. Not mistaken, the Hu Tao painting has like 20 colors? 15 to 20 colors, yeah. Okay, but go back to this. Yeah. Ooh, sounds super fun with friends, but never had the opportunity, I guess. It's alright, I'll find one eventually. I'm not sure if Shopee has them. Shopee might have them. There's also an app for paint by numbers. I know this for sure. I think if you just check the app store. Yeah, there's like a lot in the app store. Don't know if you can see it. Okay, never mind. It's not clear. But I still prefer these physical paintings because it's like really, really about brushing the paint onto the canvas instead of just tapping the screen to fill in the paint. Real, it's just therapeutic like that. Indeed. I actually have another one. It's a cat painting, but I'm not sure where it has went. Oh yeah, by the way, not sure if you're doing this or like you're watching this through your phone or your laptop, but whatever device you're watching this live stream at, always make sure to turn off the other one so that it doesn't interrupt you. It's better focus. Right. Okay, so now that we've got our plan settled, it's time to move on to the final phase, which is the daily quest. So we have a plan, we have a goal, but that's still very vague. We need to be more specific. We need to understand how we can enact our plan, even at this moment in time, or even in the next 24 hours. So we're gonna be creating sort of like a quest, a daily quest that we can do every single day in order to like take off one step in our plan and move one step towards our goal. So, say this is our plan right here, which is the example given just now. The quest itself would be very specific. So, how do you make a quest specific? First, you think of the time. What time are you going to do the action needed that will kick off your plan, or at least move you one step closer to your goal? Another way to view this, if time is a bit too vague, is to try to sandwich it between uh, normal events. So, say if looking at the gym example, when do you go to the gym? When do you go at night? Do you go in the morning? In this case, I decided that hey, I'll go to the gym after class and before I go home. Then it will be gym session. So you can try to sandwich it between an activity that you've already normally done. And where would that be? Of course, you need to tackle the where. I mean, for working out, it's quite obvious to be at the gym. But say if you are studying, if you plan on getting good grades and you want to study, where will you be studying and when? So this part here is a little vague. It didn't specify where exactly they're going to study, but it I know it sounds a bit intuitive like, well, obviously I'm going to study at my office desk, but you would be surprised that that's how sometimes, life could happen and after testing things out, you realize that another location would be better for studying. So just write down any location. And a duration would also help to set another constraint that is easy for your brain to uh, interpret as to like how long you're gonna be doing this quest. The reason we have to be very specific is that the problem with goals and goal setting is that it's very wishy-washy if we don't specify it. Like think about New Year's resolutions, for example. Everyone sets New Year's resolutions, but how many people follow through them? Mainly it's because they didn't really try to turn it turn that goal into a tangible action that they can take, that is easy enough to take. Like, of course I want to lose 5 kilograms of weight, but that's so vague. Like how exactly am I gonna do that? And how specifically what do I need to do right now to do that? And so this quest ensures that your brain just immediately knows when and what and how they're gonna do this. Then we're not just gonna have a daily quest, we're going to need a tracker and a reminder. So think about games, okay, video games in general, is that they've given you the quest right there in the quest log. You just need to open it up, boom, quest is there. But in real life, it's different. We don't have a game system that's going to tell us to do our quests unless we set one game system ourselves, and that is done through a tracker and a reminder. So a tracker can be anything like a Google Calendar, Notion template, pen and paper is fine too. The tracker is to just like overall track the amount of time and results that you've done for the quest of the day. So for example, 21st of May, I did 30 minutes of treadmill. I almost fell off the treadmill. That's something that you can track. It's gonna be a bit boring, but it will help your future self a lot because especially when it's like at the lower stages of life when you might feel demotivated to continue, you might feel like, oh my god, I've done nothing. My progress is all gone. Just look at the tracker and you realize that, oh hey, actually you did do a lot of progress. It's good, like a record to keep you going. And of course, we need constant reminders to stick to our quests and to stick to our goals. Humans beings, we tend to forget a lot of things. Like, if you ask me to name what I had for breakfast, I actually can name what I had for breakfast. Okay, no. You My point is that we humans tend to forget very easily. So setting reminders will help to enforce that quest and goal. Going back to the video game analogy, well, if you think of gacha games, good reminders that they love to set are those red ticks at like the icons in the UI. Or those red ticks are so annoying. You just want to click on it and then you remember, oh yeah, I have this, and this. So that's an example of a reminder in game. But in real life, you would need to set more strategic reminders, reminders that you would keep going back to. So personally, I like to use alarm clocks. It's a little unconventional, but it does work for me. I just need to set the time where I said I would do the task or the quest or the action, and okay, I know. Slide, slide to stop, and then I'll just do it. But for for you, it could be just like a visualization board. Again, there's like so many reminders out there, so many trackers out there. Feel free to do your research if you have no ideas as to what to do. As long as you have a tracker and a reminder, it's all good. And lastly, we have the bare minimum quest. Now, this is something I don't really see a lot of creators in this space do, is setting bare minimum quest. So this is in case there's emergencies that happened, like, and you feel like you need to spend a bit more time on other avenues in work or relationships or like in other categories rather than the category you're working on. Like a common example would be, you know, touch wood, you got into a car accident, touch wood. But so that would like with an event like that happening, you might feel like you don't want to work out, you don't want to stick to your goals. But luckily, bare minimum quest exists, so you know that at least on that day, you progressed 1% of the way there. It's 1% progress only, but it is still progress. And it is progress that you should value because, bro, you got into a car crash, you got into such an emergency, yet you still choose to continue pushing forward towards your goals. That's amazing. So you can celebrate that 1%. Celebrate that bare minimum quest. And well, this is an example. Honestly, I think 15 minutes is actually pretty overkill. Like this should probably be like 5 minutes or just a walk instead of a treadmill session. And with this, you feel less guilty about not committing to your goals. There can be a lot of attachment towards, or at least self, self, no, more of like, yeah, more of an attachment towards like being that ideal person who doesn't skip their daily quests and commits to their goals no matter what. But life is just full of hardships. It's impossible to be consistently consistent. So, important thing to know is to be kind to yourself, no matter how bad life is and how much or how little progress you make. So that is the daily quest. Again, this would be very important, so I'll be probably ending this at around maybe like 9:45. Yeah. So let's do this. I know I have for breakfast. I just read the chat, and I do know what I had for breakfast. I remembered. Gonna make something up. Watch. Okay, it's 2 eggs and last night's fried chicken and chang. I forgot what it's called. The green bean kacang, that thing. Come on, you can't say that I made that up. That was very specific. Okay, it's very specific. That's what they all say. I have no proof because I'm not like I won't take picture of my food. You have to take my word for it. What did you have for breakfast then? Do you remember? Guilty until proven otherwise. Okay, okay. Well, I can't exactly prove my innocence. I can't prove my guilt as well. So, eh. What did you have for breakfast then, Chad? Nothing. Nothing? Really? Nothing? Or did you forget? Ah, don't need to remember. Okay, probably relevant. Or was it just too boring? Here's my proof of in citation format. Just 2026. Wait, oh my god, that's so. I want to screenshot that and show that to like a lecturer. Oh my god. Oh, it's like so meme worthy. So I'm gonna finish this up first. Yeah. Take your time.
What is it?
Not stick with that. Lol. What do you mean by not stick with that? Ah, oops. Um. Oh, yeah. My bad. misclick. Eh. Jeez. Yeah. Still use. Yeah. It's like this life thing is so weird. It's all good. It's first time for everything. Yeah. Very big. It's a very big first time, especially if you find yourself like changing a bit of the previous parts, like the plan and the goal. It's totally normal because the more you write, the more sudden ideas or like better ideas pop up. So you can adapt as you write. Me first time somewhat having a mid-year journaling session like this, if you like to call it that. Yeah, technically should be done in like end of June, but you know, certain circumstances brings it here today. Yeah, but I hope this session has been useful in gaining clarity and direction as to what you want to do to not regret the next 6 to 7 months of your life. I'm not doing the meme. I understand what I just said, and I'm not doing the meme. It's fine, still close enough to mid-year anyways. But it is a very odd date, I will admit. Like 21st of May to do a mid-year reflection session, while June is like a few days away. A bit weird. Now, with the system and quests settled, oh look, there's nothing else to scroll. That means you did it! You did your mid-2026 reflection checkpoint! And so now you got a good idea of what to do with the remainder of your 2026, or at least for the next half of it. And so, yes, congratulations, you reached the end. Thank you very much for coming to this live. And honestly, I'm actually pretty open to questions right now. This live is supposed to end at 10. Still have got a little bit more time, so yes, feel free to ask me anything relating to the reflection and what are your thoughts? Was this do you think this is useful? Do you think it's not? Yeah, let me know. I will read your comments in chat. It's not really a KPI. I just I genuinely planned it for like 2 hours. Uh, I think most of my friends just did like really short lives. I'm not sure if any other people have like done such long live sessions. Let me put the music back up because Minecraft music is the best. What got you into journaling, and how would you advise a beginner to start with journaling? Uh, okay, good question. So my journaling journey, tongue twister. My journey of journaling started when I was pretty young. I would say actually it's because in like back in those Chinese schools, the very strict Chinese schools, they forced us kids to have this thing called a 功课簿. So 功课簿 is like a book or a journal for homework. And so we were forced to like write our homework in that book for every single class. And I think that's what got me into the idea of writing, like, or at least writing for the sake of like recording and thinking in general. So I started out. So if you are a beginner, yeah, just start journaling with like small things like homework, assignments, uh, just thoughts. You don't have to write long. You just need to write like a few words, because the point of journaling is not always to record. It's to sometimes just let out your feelings and thoughts. It's a good way to process what's in here in paper so you can see it for what it is. So just journal anything, really. Journal whatever you care about, just journal that. So say if you care about your assignments, journal what you need to do for your assignments, how you feel towards your assignments. If you care about friends and family, journal about them. Like, oh, today I like how this friend has been treating me, or like my sister was very kind to me after she bought an ice cream for me when I felt down. Yeah, small moments. So that's my advice and how I got into journaling. That answers your question. Oh, I was just listing examples. But she has bought me ice cream before. That was an example. Ah, be better. Yeah, but to be fair, I'm trying to avoid sugar, so it's a good it's a good thing that she doesn't give me ice cream. So, with your current experience in journaling, or this, yeah, your first, is this your first time journaling? I'm not sure, but what do you think? Do you wanna try journaling other things for yourself? Like, you don't have to journal for goal setting. You can journal for like so many other things. Like what we discussed, gratitude journaling earlier in the video live. Try that. Somewhat, somewhat. It's a good starting point. I feel like I do for assignments just to keep track, but mostly through like texting and keeping messages to myself on WhatsApp. Not so much about feelings though. Ah, my god. Yeah, unless I'm super riled up about something. Ah, yes, yes. Uh, that I mean that's totally okay. I don't see the problem with that. Not everything has to be journaled, and so if you just find yourself leaning more towards using journaling as a means to like uh like record things, then yeah, go ahead and keep doing that. What are your general thoughts towards failure from previous experiences? Whoa, whoa, interesting questions here. Love hate relationship, something to minimize. Um, failure. Huh. Um, I think one of the most joyous pursuits or joyous achievements of life is to have and maintain a healthy relationship with failure. Because I feel like our society just tends to normalize feeling disgusted towards failure, hating failure, and looking down upon failure. That's very common. And so when everyone else thinks that failure is bad, it can really affect you when you fail at something, because you can associate like failure with like being left out and being disgusted and hated for. Yeah, so you have to like have a good relationship with failure. Society is just society, and it is actually proven through science and proven through like my own experience and probably your own experience and like other people's experiences that failure is what is needed in order to grow and learn. So the fact that we as a society look down on failure, it's just it's not healthy. By looking down on failure, it's like we're looking down on curiosity and the ability to grow. Agreed. Don't think a lot of others have that outlook. Yeah, it's a bit sad actually. Like, 'cause I have been there where like uh failure was something that if I did, it meant the end of the world. But then it's like you slowly have to learn to like differentiate between what is your actual beliefs and what is the beliefs that people have like drilled into you unconsciously without you knowing, because like when you grow older, the more you grow from a kid to adulthood, the more you just sort of like absorb what other people believe. So it's very easy to like accidentally absorb the belief that failure is bad, failure is disgusting, failure is not good. So have to be careful with how you view failure. And it is a process that even I am like still working on. Yeah, good question. Good question. You're all learning every day, anyways. Yeah, that's fact. We need to actually, if we don't learn every day, it's like just no. Actually, if we just don't learn, if we don't keep on learning, it's not good for our health long term. I mean, this is proven with science by like dementia patients and a lot of science. I can't exactly remember, but it's there. Hope your day has been chill enough though, not too pressuring, at least progress being made and whatnot. Oh, I took a really. I'm not gonna say it's a good quality break, but it was a break, so I'm feeling much better. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Well, if there's like no other questions, I'm gonna end the stream here. It's been nice knowing you, chat, and also doing this exercise with you guys. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Bye. Gonna stop stream. Bye, chat. Yay.